I do love the yew tree because of the longevity of it. It's slow growing but long lived, and Native Americans usually called it Chief of the Forest. My father decided to use that name for the products because of the sustainable harvest protocol that was created using the limb branch tips of the tree.
Okay.
And you can find a lot of information in the ethnobotany studies about the limb tips and the needles being used more than the wood for health reasons.
Welcome, everybody, to episode number 31 of the Healthy Habit Podcast. And look who's back, Chelsey Willis, folks, the Vice President of Bighorn Botanicals, a company founded by her father, Mr. Rus Willis, who's been on the show before on the radio program. In 1991, this company was founded, and Chelsey uses cGMP guidance to ensure standard operating procedures are met for a sustainable harvest and manufacturing protocol. Chelsey's been trained most of her life by her father and grandmother Inez on how to operate the company manufacturing to marketing. The whole 9 yards, folks. She's determined to continue her family's small business and keep the Montana YewTip products available to everyone. The customer feedback and testimonials is what keeps Bighorn Botanicals really going. Chelsey, welcome back to episode 31. How are we doing?
I'm doing well. How is everyone?
We're doing great. We're keeping people healthy.
Can you hear me okay?
Absolutely. So give us a little breakdown behind the scenes of Bighorn Botanicals for someone that's new to the company here. And then today we want to talk deep into the sustainable harvest protocols.
Yes, we started in 1991. My father, Rus Willis, was a harvester for Bristol Myers Squibb Pharmaceutical Company, and he was extracting the yew bark from the Pacific yew tree. And the reason why they're doing that is they were taking the bark and extracting Taxol, one of the compounds they found that was included in a chemotherapeutic research, which is paclitaxel, your today's chemotherapy drug. My father ended up that project ended in 93. So he began a sustainable harvest protocol, which is saving the trees now, and it allows the trees to put on more growth as well. So we saved the yew trees in this area from becoming extinct because they were all units that were scheduled to be logged. And so they ended up cutting these trees down. But after that 3-year project, Rus started that sustainable harvest with the U.S. Forest Service and a botanist and scientist that worked out a protocol where we clip 8 to 12 inches of the branch tips, the limb tips of the tree, and we use the needles in our product. This allows the tree to put on more foliage throughout 4 to 5 years of rotations throughout several units that we have in Montana here. The yew tree has that scientific background with the pharmaceutical company and their scientists in the development of that Taxol. Well, my father, with the sustainable harvest protocol, created the natural taxane source. And taxanes is the naturally occurring compound in the yew tree that promotes healthy cell development and inhibits harmful cell replication. It's a non-toxic form of taking the botanical. So we are a sustainable herbal dietary supplement company. We are highly regulated by FDA and FTC. And our ally to keep us informed of any regulations with those federal bureaus is AHPA, the American Herbal Products Association. And we have been members with them for 27 years.
Wow.
We've been in business for 29 years. And AHPA has been a great guidance in FDA regulations as well as FTC regulations. We are highly regulated. Not just pharmaceutical companies are regulated, but herbal dietary supplement companies are regulated, and especially with the health claims in advertising. there are several companies that have been alerted by FTC that you cannot make a health claim on how your product works, which is really hard to explain to
Yeah.
consumers how your product works. The biggest advertisement for us throughout the years has been word of mouth, which I find is the safest way to market your product when consumers talk with each other and share their stories. As a company, we cannot share anecdotal stories. No testimonies. I won't be reading anymore anyone's testimonies, and I am so sorry I cannot do that. But it's highly regulated. You have to have scientific evidence research on how those anecdotal stories would be truthful. So they are truthful. They've never been through a double-blind placebo
Right.
or a clinical trial, right, to assure that those are true statements.
Mm-hmm.
So our hands are tied in that area. I love to share the stories, but I encourage anyone that takes the Montana YewTip products, please share with your friends and family how it works for you. We cannot share that information anymore, and it
Public
is
on streams like this we can't, but face to
right.
face is
Streams
a
like
different
this,
story, right? So that's
yes. When you
crazy.
come face to face with somebody, that's different.
Yeah, you know how I feel about that, Chelsey. I've highlighted many times how important the testimonials are, right? So that, I mean, I
Yes.
think that's one of the strongest forms of evidence, to be honest. If 1,000 people say there's something really positive about a product, that there's something to that. So thanks for that update again, Chelsey. That's how it goes, right? But we're still going to keep
That's
doing what
how
we
it
do.
goes.
We'll still keep doing how we're doing it here. So tell us about ethnobotany. You've mentioned that a few times. What does that mean exactly, ethnobotany?
Ethnobotany is studies done where Native Americans had used herbs, and it's basically evidence with many books of that have been written about how Native Americans used specifically Pacific yew for different health ailments, and also made tools and utensils with the tree. Several of the tribes had used the yew needles to make salves. They would mix with water and grease and make a concoction for external injuries. And you can find that information on our website. That's bighornbotanicals.com. We do have a lot of information that you can read about that. And there are several compounds also in the yew tree. And this is why I think ethnobotany is very important. When you really research ethnobotany studies and how Native Americans had used herbs back then, and it worked. In today's world, that's really not a scientific-based way to tell how a product works. But in this herbal industry, many companies believe in the ethnobotany studies. And I believe that ethnobotany studies are very important when it comes to educating yourself on herbs and botanicals. I did want to point out the other components in the yew tree that also were helpful in different health ailments back then and today, which I already mentioned, the taxanes. Also the flavonoids, phytosterols, lignans, and carotenoids, which is your anti-inflammatory, antiviral properties, and antibacterial and antifungal. Now I can't just tell you that the yew tips will help with any health ailment because it has those existing compounds in it, but it's true. The Pacific yew does hold these compounds along with vitamins and minerals that are very important for us, specifically vitamin B12, quercetin, magnesium, zinc,
Mm-hmm.
selenium. You know, all those, you can find a certificate of analysis on our website that will show you all the vitamins and minerals that are existing in the Pacific yew tree.
That's bighornbotanicals.com, folks. Just scroll into the description box under this video and click the link that you'll find down there. And again, I just pulled this up from the USDA Forest Service, how they defined ethnobotany, which you explain that amazingly. I just want to, this is fascinating how they define it as the study of how people of a particular culture and region make use of indigenous plants, native plants to that area all through history, which, like you mentioned, is an extremely important level of evidence, right? Because that's plants provide food, medicine, shelter, dyes, fibers, oils, resins, gums, soaps, waxes, latex, tannins, and even contribute to the air we breathe, they say here in the definition. So, and you're going, a big key reason that the Montana products exist is because of this ethnobotany, correct?
Yes, which you will find that research and references on our website.
Amazing. So tell us about, in Arizona, Chelsey, we see a lot of different dermatology issues, skin inflammation, different types of eczema, psoriasis, but then little skin spots or sunspots that we see from people that go hiking a lot. Tell us about the Bighorn Botanicals topical line of products. I want to hit on that today.
Yes, the salve specifically is a real good concentrate of the Montana YewTip oil, and that can be used topically for open injuries or suspicious skin abrasions. But it promotes healthy cell rejuvenation, so it helps with the skin rejuvenation. So it will help also prevent scarring. And by saying this, I don't want to make an implied claim. So it's hard to tell you that it will heal that. I can't say it will heal that. But based on our customers' feedback and what they have told us, that they have had great success using our products
Right.
topically for any skin conditions. And we give credit to the compounds that naturally exist in the Pacific U that help cells rejuvenate. I mean, that is basically science laid out already
Mm-hmm.
when you get a tree tested, and that was done with the pharmaceutical company.
Mm-hmm.
So we do have that scientific research background. We do also have a clinical background. We're the Biomedical Center in Tijuana, Mexico, a cancer clinic. And that's what they are. They're a cancer clinic,
Mm-hmm.
but they prescribe their patients with our products to help different ailments. And this is many different ailments from internal to external. Our topicals have been very fortunate in the success rate and different suspicious skin conditions.
Yeah.
And that feedback that we always hear it encourages us to keep doing what we're doing, of course. And I always just want to be able to allow, and keep these products on the market. I seem a little tongue-tied today, excuse me, because of this new Federal Trade Commission um,
Situation.
observation. Yes, that AHPA has alerted many herbal dietary supplement companies of. So we really got to watch our mouth and how we say things. So I will get better with that. I love to
Yeah.
tell the personal anecdotes how it goes, but
Right. And you guys have
that's
been great
iffy.
about that. You and Russ, when you've come
So
on the program over the
yeah.
years, you've specifically said we're not giving any medical advice or making claims, and you've overemphasized it, I thought. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I do emphasize it because it's so important to avoid
Yeah.
any violations.
Yeah.
And
But it still
violations can
wasn't
be
enough.
very
It
critical.
still it still
No.
wasn't enough. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Okay, so I pulled up here. If you go to bighornbotanicals.com and go to the shop and head over to page 2, you can scroll over to the right and you'll find their full line here of topicals like we mentioned there. We have the Montana YewTip salve in a 1, 2, and 4 ounce jar, the soap from the same plant, and then as well as the lotion. Which one's your personal favorite? You gotta have a bias here or a preference.
I do. The salve is my favorite. Second is the lip balm because I
Okay.
always use it. The salve I've used with my 3 boys growing up. Uh, you know, definitely bloody elbows or scraped knees or, having accidents, the salve is definitely something you want to keep in your first aid kit.
And then,
The YewTip oil,
yes.
sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
The YewTip oil is the main ingredient in the salve. So that actually should be my favorite because that's the magic. And you can use that internally and externally. And I know customers from Phoenix, Arizona love the topicals because they are in the sun a
Yeah.
lot. And we do get a lot of good feedback that it helps with their skin.
You said the
So,
oil, correct? So you can use that
yes,
one both ways, internally and externally.
yes.
Perfect.
And because of all those compounds that are in there, such as
Right.
the taxanes, flavonoids, phytosterols, lignans, carotenoids, those are all health benefits, right?
And they're all
So,
higher concentrated in the oil?
yes, they
Interesting.
are.
That's a good. I'm going to remember that one when I'm
Hmm.
talking to customers. That's good to know. You can even combine them. Put a little bit of the salve with a couple drops of the oil, put them in together, right, Chelsey?
Yes, you can. And I've had customers buy the oil and include their own oils with it, which it works synergistically. All the
Yeah.
products work synergistically with other herbs. And so that's another good thing to know.
And remind us of just the name in general, the Montana YewTip. What is that exactly? For not everybody understands different parts of plants being harvested, being used for different medicinal purposes. Some plants you use the roots, some you're using the bark, like in white willow to make aspirin. In this case, tell us about the name YewTip.
Montana YewTips, my father decided to use that name for the products because of the sustainable harvest protocol that was created using the limb branch tips of the tree.
Okay.
And you can find a lot of information ethnobotany in the ethnobotany studies about the limb tips and the needles being used more than the wood for health reasons. They did Native Americans used the wood for tools and bows and arrows and things like that. Some of the tribes did use the bark and the needles together to make teas, which they used for strength and endurance and longevity. And I do love the yew tree because of the longevity of it. It's slow growing but long lived, and Native Americans usually called it chief of the forest,
That's so
which
cool.
I do believe it's still chief of the forest.
Yeah. And that's another place you can check on their website there, bighornbotanicals.com, and hit the drop down menu and go to Ethnobotany under the Pacific Yew plant profile. Ethnobotany, if it's like the seventh one down the list there. And you can read more about that. And there's a book that you highlighted on this page called The Yew Tree, A Thousand Whispers by Hal Hartzell Jr. in 1991. So there was literally a book written in 91. The same
Yeah,
year,
and you can,
actually, the company was started, which is unique.
right? Yeah, it is unique. And you can buy that book off Amazon if you wanted to purchase that.
Okay, for all the book lovers
Um,
out there, again, that's The Yew Tree, and that's YEW, like Montana YewTip. The Yew Tree, A Thousand Whispers. Go ahead, Chelsey.
mhm, mhm. We have many other Montana products. We have the internals such as tea, powder, capsules, tincture, and oil.
Yeah.
And all of those you can use, it's based on your preference. So if you want to take capsules with your daily regimen, that's our highest main seller. People love capsules to include with other capsules. It does work synergistically with other herbs. Tincture lovers, the extraction lovers like the YewTip tincture, and
Yeah.
it does have a gnarly bite. I'll warn you. So we do recommend that you put your drops in 1 ounce glass of warm water to let that alcohol dissipate so it's
Mm,
not so strong.
interesting.
The oil you can
Yeah.
do that way as well, but the oil, and if you get used to the tincture, you can drop it straight under your tongue, if you can handle that. It is
Yeah.
pretty strong.
And you get used to
Um,
it.
yeah, you do. Tea drinkers, they love the UT. If you're used to an earthy, bitter taste, and I always say bitter is better for you. So if you're a tea drinker, please drink the tea. You can drink 4 to 6 cups a day to feel robust.
Hmm.
and just feel better.
Absolutely.
Also the powder, that's one of the popular ones as well when it comes to cost efficient a way of taking the product, because you can include that in cooked food, smoothies, yogurt. You can include it in your own capsules if you make your own at home. It'll work synergistically with other herbs, like I've said. Um,
Yeah.
it doesn't contradict with anything. So I do have a lot of customers that buy the 1 pound bag of powder to include it in their capsules. And see what else we got.
Yeah.
The lotion. We haven't talked about the lotion much.
Let's
The
do that.
lotion has the Montana YewTip oil in it. That's the main ingredient, but it also has aloe vera and vitamin E and vitamin C and A. So there's other vitamins in the lotion that work synergistically with the Montana YewTip oil to provide healthy looking skin.
Yeah.
And a lot of people with sun damage do love the lotion.
And that's the Montana YewTip lotion, Fountain of Youth, right? The natural. That's a 6-ounce bottle with the pump lid. We definitely have this right here in stock at Healthy Habit Health Foods. And I love that you're offering different avenues of getting the benefits of this plant, from lotions to salves to lip balm you mentioned, and then we have oils, tinctures, powders, tea, all kinds of ways. There's no excuses is basically what we're saying, right?
Right. Yeah, we wanted
No
to
excuses, guys.
offer a complete line that is available for everyone. So, if you're a person that doesn't want to take capsules because you can't swallow them, then please consider the powder or the tea or the tincture. If you're someone that doesn't want to use the salve because there's beeswax in it, some people are allergic to the beeswax. You can use just the Montana YewTip oil or the lotion. The soap as well is wonderful for skin. I've had a lot of good feedback on the YewTip soap. It's an unscented, homemade, old-fashioned way of making soap, the Castile way. And the main ingredient in there is that Montana YewTip oil. So again, yeah, we've created many applications internally and externally of the Pacific Yew and Montana YewTip products.
Amazing. Folks, we are talking with Chelsey Willis here for episode number 31, the vice president of Bighorn Botanicals. Again, a company founded in 91 by Chelsey's father, Mr. Rus Willis. How is Rus doing, by the way?
He's doing well. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get him on the podcast.
No, we'll make
Dr.
it happen.
Dan.
I'll have to call
I
him
know,
then,
I'm
and I'll
going to
get him
make
on.
it happen. But he's fishing right now. So.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Very nice.
No, he's enjoying his retirement, semi-retirement.
So with about 4 minutes here to go on episode 31, Chelsey, we mentioned bighornbotanicals.com. In episode last time we had you on, we talked about your experience at the Biomedical Center, which I'm glad that they're still going strong. We linked that below in the description box. We'll do that again today. Give us maybe a little quick highlight on the Biomedical Center today and how it relates to all these products that you're discussing.
The Biomedical Center is a wonderful foundation for our products in the sense of testing it and giving the feedback to people that really have health issues. Anyone that's experiencing any health problems and you want to seek natural therapy, the Biomedical Center is the way to go. They're very professional there. They're in Tijuana, Mexico, and they treat you like family when you walk in the door. I don't think anyone will be disappointed, but if you want to get professional help using natural products, they are a very good ally, and you need to contact them. There is one other thing I wanted to say before we end this.
Yes.
AHPA, they're very important to us. The American Herbal Products Association, I recommend any herbal natural dietary supplement company, please look into their organization. They will keep you in full alert of FDA regulations and keep you updated. You can go to their website at ahpa.org, and that's AHPA.org.
Okay.
I would recommend anyone that owns a herbal supplement company, you must check these guys out, and they will be your friends in the market to keep you compliant.
Again, that's AHPA, the American Herbal Products Association. AHPA.org. I'll pass that message along. What's a good take-home message that people should remember after episode 31 today?
Well, I would suggest anyone who is experiencing a health ailment such as that, contact your professional healthcare provider and get a suggestion or talk with them on what kind of natural products you may include in your regimen to help make you feel better. And Dr. Dan and Dr. Aaron are the ones to talk to when it comes to all their products in the Healthy Habit health food store. Our products, the Montana YewTip products, are exclusive there. If anyone has any questions about the components, compounds, or if they want a testimony from a customer, I can get them in touch with them. If they want more hope, I can definitely send them an email of hope. And I just want to help people, so please don't hesitate to call or email to get more information that won't be said on this podcast.
Right. Thanks for your time, Chelsey. We appreciate you guys a lot. Again, bighornbotanicals.com, folks, and hit that drop-down bar. You can go to shop, view all the products we've discussed today, or go to the Ethnobotany section. You can call our store. We can ship nationwide. You can order through us direct or through bighornbotanicals.com. Chelsey, until next time, thank you.
Thank you, you guys. Take care.